Hello and welcome to the Daily West Ham News. It's Jazz. It's another day. Let's see what's been happening in the news. Kretinsky's in the news. He's apparently not happy with the way things have been run at West Ham, but there's not much he can do. I think he's got 27% share. 27% share as Kretinsky, so he can't really do much at the moment. He's got to buy another 3-4%, I think, to make things a little bit more interesting and have more power. So we'll see whether he's able to buy any of those extra shares from the Gold family or Sullivan, but he's not too happy and he expected a better season. And despite what seemed to be looking like a good transfer window in the summer, typical West Ham, 1 or 2 steps forward, 4 or 5 steps backward, it looks like. So it looks like, yeah, we should have addressed the striker issue. We should have overall improved the squad a lot more, made it a lot more youthful, a lot more younger. And perhaps we haven't spent the money in the right way. So, yeah, we'll see what happens as teams such as, Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton, all those circle around us and overtake us, really. So, yeah, Kretinsky's not too happy. That's kind of the news coming from there. Other news is that Tim Stuyton's rumours, he's not happy. Too much interference, not enough control in his job. He didn't go any further than that through some of the websites. It looks like it could be Sullivan again, I think. I think that's been deep down an issue, I think, ever since. And perhaps that is the number one issue then. Despite looking like he's brought a sporting director in, he's brought people like Pellegrini in the past, two-piece West Ham fans, he's brought in Bilic. I think when you look deep down, I think there's been too much interference. And I think other clubs, listen, I'm not 100% sure how other clubs do their transfers. As far as I know, people like Arteta, they just go and buy whoever they want. It's approved by the transfer committee, and then the sporting director, like Edu, goes and does it. Liverpool, similar. I think whatever Klopp wants goes in front of a transfer committee and that kind of thing. I don't know what happens at West Ham. There are rumours that, there's a 4-vote system, which isn't quite clear-cut or straightforward. And I'm sure there's a few players in there that are... I think the problem now you've got is not a straight fight between David Moyes and Sullivan. I think Tim Stuyton's in there as well. So you can see a couple of players could be Tim Stuyton's, Kudos, and Alvarez could be Kudos. Sorry, Kudos and... Fucking hell, Alvarez, that could be Tim Stuyton's recommendations. Then you got Phillips in there to appease him. It could be Ward-Prowse's in there to appease David Moyes. Sullivan's players. Who's Sullivan's player? I don't know. He used to like buying strikers. That's long since dried up. It's a complete mishmash of a model. And I think this is going to carry on till the club's sold, I think. I think the ground's in a mess. The leasehold is in a mess. The sponsorship, the ground is a mess. Shirt sponsorship deals is in a mess. I think there's a lot of problems on the training ground, the facilities, the youth team. There's a lot of issues piling up now, and I know it's been a long time since, was it 2010 they bought West Ham 14 years ago? You better get ready for another ride, mate. Rough. By that I mean you're going to have to write a lot of seasons off till they're gone. I don't think they're going to go in a hurry. But I think the next time it kicks off, it's going to be quite bad, and it could finally force him to leave. He paid about 110 million for West Ham back in 2010. He wanted 650, 700 million, didn't he? When people were knocking on the door a year ago, 2 years ago. Whatever he gets, he's going to get, 3, 4, 5, 600% of what they paid for. And, unfortunately, I think we've peaked. I mean, it looks silly. I don't think it's going to get any better than what we've had. We've won a trophy. We've finished 6th and 7th. I think that's it. I think until Sullivan's gone, that's it. I think anyone who's good in our team, Bowen or Paqueta or Alvarez or whatever, I think they're going to be gone next summer. And I think the issue with the fans is going to get more and more worse. And I think it's going to get to a level where the family tell Sullivan there's no point, and then you'll go. So I think it's you got to get ready for another couple of seasons of real upheaval at West Ham and just mid-level finishing, I think. And in the meantime, there's a few players that will go because till he's here, we're not going to get the right manager. We're not going to get the right system. Tim Stiton's going to go. I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. Sullivan is too old. He doesn't want to let go of control, and then he interferes with the sporting director. And then you got a manager like David Moyes, old school like Sullivan. He doesn't listen to anyone. It's a complete mash. Yes, we have spent money. Yes, players have been coming in, but you can still see the squad is not good enough. It's too old. It's not good in a lot of places. You got a shit defence. You got no strikers. It's like running a marathon with one hand, like one leg. Like I said, it's too many issues. We can all go and buy 2-3 players, 30 million each, 20 million, but it's about 11 players. It's about the squad. It's about the bench. It's about everyone in the club going in the same direction, all in line. That's how club moves forward. There's a clear shape there. There's a clear destiny. I don't know. Moyes wants something else in terms of football. Tim Stiton is looking at something else. Sullivan is looking at something else, and it shows on the pitch. There's no love between the owner and the fans. I think that's a big problem that's not going to go away. We are still not over this move from Upton Park to Stratford until the new owners come. This is going to stay. And I don't see a future at Stratford for us either. I think there's going to be big issues. I think the stadium, we've come to an issue where the landlord's got no money to spend in terms of keeping the upkeep around the ground. And you can see there's overgrown weeds, grass everywhere now. It looks untidy. I don't know. There's other parts on the ground that's, you could probably tell me more than I know, that's getting shabby. I think there's no future at Stratford for us. I think we've got to look at either buying it, getting it from them, whether that happens when the new mayor comes next year, I don't know. And we've got to knock it down and build it again in the same spot if that's what they want to do. Or look for land elsewhere in Essex, East London. I don't know how easy that's going to be. But we're coming to a problem. I think we're coming to a problem. The problem now is that when Tottenham built their stadium, they borrowed money, historically low interest levels, which was amazing business by Daniel Levy. The rates have gone up a lot now. And if we were to borrow money, or whether the owner had cash himself, it'd be better. I'm thinking about all these things that are wrong, and I hate to look at it in a negative way, but that's just the way I feel now. I think we've peaked under this ownership. It's not going to get any better until he goes, and he ain't going to go until the scenery, the landscape becomes a lot worse, a lot more toxic, a lot more negative, and I think it's going to get that for the next 2 years. So I'm afraid, as a West Ham fans, my prediction is for the next 2 years, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for anyone. There's a lot of upheaval, and we'll see what happens, really. So that's kind of the news at the moment. It's not good news. It's, again, a lot of in-house fighting. A lot of ex-players are coming out, like Don Hutchinson saying respect what he's done, that kind of thing. So that's carrying on. West Ham Civil War is carrying on. That Monday game at Brentford is getting closer and closer day by day. Probably going to lose that. That could be or should be David Moyes' last game, surely, because I think I told you, next step's going to be the fans are going to go mad in and around the ground and start pointing fingers at Sullivan, and then you know what's going to happen then. And then after that, even when a new manager comes in, I think that issue between the fans and Sullivan's going to kick off and stay there till he goes, I think. And due to his age, and hopefully the younger boys recommending to Sullivan to just take a 400-500% profit and just go. But it's going to take, I think, 12, 18, 24 months before that happens, really. So get ready for a very bumpy ride, everyone, is Jazz prediction. Get ready for a very, very bumpy ride. More bumpy than my hair looks at the moment. I need to have a shower tomorrow. Sort myself out. I work from home. I'm so lazy. Look at the state of me. But anyway, look like the mad professor, but it's not going to be good. I'm sorry bringing you bad news, but let's just watch day by day. See what EastEnders drama is in and around our club. So anyway, that's it from me, and I'll catch up with you soon on another show. Take care. Coming you